is a city official, state official. He's here to audit, make sure that we don't make any claims, make sure that we're all above board.
That's right. You're all
No.
inclusive.
Actually, this is Brock. He's my buddy. I met him. He was working at a Chippendale dance club in Vegas.
Yes.
I met him.
Chris Farley,
Chippendale.
working hard.
That's not true either. I'm getting feedback. Someone's not muted.
Me.
All right. Me. In reality, Brock is he's my boy. So I met Brock years ago.
Yeah.
Brock
probably
Jacobson.
5 years ago.
We met years ago because our sons play sports together. And so we'd be on the sidelines. I'm gonna mute Bonnie. We'd be on the sidelines just chatting it up.
Mhm.
And we just became close friends. And so now, like, if everybody could mute, that'd be awesome. Now we hang out and we become real close. We traveled together for sports. Our wives are friends. And I don't know why that's doing that. That's crazy. Keep switching the video. But anyway, Brock is here with us tonight because he's a close friend of mine. Everybody give me a thumbs up so you can hear me okay. Pretty good? Okay. So I twisted Brock's arm a little bit, asked him to come on the call. And because the dude, he has had some awesome results and I'm proud of him. Like, I'm really, really proud of you. And I told you so, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
I was like, dude, like, this is not normal. The result that you have, the choices that you've made, the changes, the transformation is just nutty good. It's nutty good. And I said to Brock, I'm proud of you, man. And he's like, no, and I'm like, no, dude, because most dads, they're failing horribly. They're failing horribly. And so I thought you could speak to that maybe. But first of all, Brock Jacobson, where are you calling in from? Where are you from?
Santa Clara, Utah.
Okay. And
Last place.
okay. And Brock is the city manager for Santa Clara, Utah. And so he runs the whole show here. And who introduced you to ER Shred?
Sean Escobar.
Okay. That's a good dude.
He's pretty good.
And so what's your passion? Like, just so people can get to know you a little bit better, what do you love?
My passion is sports. That's what I grew up. My family all involved in sports. My dad coached high school and college sports, and so that's where my passion was. And so Sean and I have that kind of passion in sports. I grew up playing football, basketball, and baseball. I then went to college on a baseball scholarship, played at Dixie College back when it was Dixie College, and then a year at BYU, and then at that point, then I played in the minor leagues of the Texas Rangers organization for a couple of years, and that's where my passion is, was sports. And then now with a family and kids, that's what I chase around. That's how, like I said, Sean said, how we met is chasing kids around at sporting events.
It's every night of the week.
Yes,
isn't
it is. So
okay. So Brock, give me an idea, bro. Like, because I seen like this massive change in you, and so I just we want the nuts and bolts of what happened. Some of that result was before you went on some of these ER Shred protocol, right?
right.
And I don't know what degree of that had anything to do with me or my influence. I have no idea, or if someone else influenced you. But bottom line is, dude, you feel free to just kind of go into it and then share with everybody the results that you've seen, because you are a completely different person, and speak to how that. Well, let's start with that.
Okay. So I'll say in January of this year, I just, from when I played sports on playing baseball then and got done, it just kind of, the weight slowly just kind of kept creeping. Even I was active. I played basketball 2 days a week with a group of friends. We played for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And so I still felt like I was staying active, but the weight just slowly crept up. I mean, when I was playing baseball, I was 205, 210. And slowly it was 215, 220. And then in about January, I was pushing 240 and starting to have a few issues, sleep wise, did some sleep studies, started snoring a lot. I was starting to have sleep apnea and some things. And so just with my wife, we're like, I got to make some changes. And she knew probably the way I am sometimes cheap, I would probably not go get a gym membership. So she went and got me one and says, here you go, here's your gym membership. And I just said, okay, besides that, I got to change the way I eat. And so at that time, I said, well, I had seen some other people doing keto, and that's, I said, I'll give that a try. On the flip side, I say my wife eats extremely healthy. She's a wonderful example. I just didn't follow. So, but she eats very, very healthy for health reasons that she has. And she's done that, most of the time. We've been married for about 20 years. She just says that's how it is. And you and Rick and Crystal know that. And so I started the keto. I was very, very strict. I, logged everything I was eating. I was tracking, watching the carbs and calories, and just did that since January till I think it was like May, and went with Sean to a big soccer tournament up north with his son Oliver and my son Cash. And they said, yeah, you can stay at our place. We're going to be up there. And so up there, Sean and I got into just a big discussion, and we went to the gym and worked out. And at that time, I probably dropped about 20 pounds, down to about 220. But I see Sean and what he has done and the way he looked. And I was like, a little bit more I would love to do. And so we had a good conversation about ER shred and some of the things and how that transpired. And so I saw a little bit of that time for those few days of how he eats and how he lives and stuff. And so he kind of got me going. And so then I started implementing some of those. I've not done like a full on shred.
Right.
I haven't gone through that process, but I started implementing some of those things, starting to eat more meat and fat and butter and those things.
And the shakes.
I got the shakes, I drink those. And so got the bone broth. And so
Yeah.
there's a lot of things I've started to implement. And now I've dropped since then in May, dropped another 10 pounds. And so times, depending on how I am, I'm sitting between 205 and 210 now. And so I know there's still tweaks I've got to make to really get to that last little bit. For me, as I told Sean, I said, it's a commitment of making that commitment to say, I got to eat this all the time and not cheat off of doing things. But so that's where I'm at now.
Give me an idea, like, how shocking was it to go from what you were doing to the meats, the fats, the shakes? I mean, was it pretty shocking, or did the entry into keto kind of make it a lot easier for you?
I think going into keto to that made it a lot easier that way.
But that's even a lot more restrictive, right? Like
Mhm.
it's a lot more laid out, and you got to hit certain markers, right?
Yeah. And I thought going to this and eating wise, it was easy for me to say, hey, just trying to find this avenue of eating, not necessarily looking always at the carb side of thing. Even though I still do, it's just kind of what I've done in the calories, but I just look and say, okay, I'm trying to find something, meat, butter, like we did at your house, how you introduced it. So that's all the things I look for when I go out to eat and stuff. And that's what I'm looking for more.
Have you noticed how you doing in terms of variety? Like, do you find that it just works for you, or do you find like you feel deprived?
I don't feel deprived. I mean, today I ate today, had a whole bunch of steak today at lunch. And it was funny, a little bit later though, I didn't eat a lot, but a little bit later I said, I'm starting to feel hungry, but it came and went and I felt good, and I haven't anything since then.
Good
so
deal.
It's
do you find like the shakes help meet those nutritional needs so that you don't have to be eating all the time? Because for me, like, I've got goals, right? Like, I want to be strong and I want to be fit, and for me the shakes just kind of bridge the gap because I don't want to eat all day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They do my morning, and that's when I drink them in the morning. That's my breakfast. I haven't gone and taken them to be my lunch or that, but every morning that's my breakfast. I don't eat anything else until.
And do you like them?
I love them. I love them. I got the strawberry cream the last time. Love the strawberry cream. So yeah. I
Hey,
haven't
dude,
had any I
so
don't like.
we got to talk. Your lifestyle change 30 pounds, 35?
30.
Your lifestyle change 35 pounds. And what other health benefits have you noticed, like non-scale?
Well,
How's the sleep? How's the
sleep's,
energy?
sleep's better, energy's better. I don't feel like, I mean, I don't snore like I did, like I was. I'm much better that way. So my sleep is better. When I track that, it's not as bad. I'm waking up more refreshed. I'm easier. I get up when I go to the gym. I'm getting up at about 4:15 in the morning to go to the gym. I woke up this
She
morning.
said, come work out with me. I go, dude, I don't wake up till.
Yeah, one of these days I'll get them out there, but I wake up and like I go to the gym, and it's more the days when I don't get up at that time and go is when I feel off and don't feel right. But I get up and have the energy, and I feel like my days just are better.
And you work a full day,
Mhm.
and you get up and go 4:15 or something at the
Yep.
gym.
Mhm. I try to be there at 4:45.
And then how often you playing basketball now?
2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays usually.
What time?
I get there at about 5:15.
Yeah,
So
yeah, boy, that's shredder lifestyle right there. That's
So-
legit. Like and it ain't would you say it's because you're like striving? It's like, I gotta do this, or is it more like you feel good and you're like, this is what I like?
I feel good. I feel like when I don't do it,
Yeah.
that I'm just not right. That my body's just not functioning like it should be when I'm doing it. When I'm doing the basketball, weightlifting, and then also eating. When I eat right, I can tell.
Yeah.
When I eat something off, my gut it tells me now. There's things that I used to love to eat. Ice cream, used to love to eat. I went on a work dinner and I had some ice cream, and my stomach, so ice cream doesn't work for me anymore. And so there's things that my gut just now says, no, these things are not
Yeah.
good for you. And so
We call it a unique, individualized dietary blueprint, like learning to listen to the body, what the body says, as far as like, hey man, I'm screaming at you, I don't like this, right? And then from there, listening to the feedback, which, bro, we could never hear the feedback. There was too much interference. There was too much, frequency going off, firing off everywhere. We couldn't hear the body. Too much everything going in. What's causing the problems?
Mhm.
You don't know.
yeah.
So that's the miracle of ER Shred. One of the miracles of ER Shred, as far as I'm concerned, is learning to listen. And then, why don't you eat the ice cream? Why? Why not? You deserve it.
Sure.
Why don't you eat it?
Doesn't make me feel good. It's not good for my body anymore. I'd love to eat it.
But people
But
know
don't
it.
love it.
People know damn well it ain't making them feel good, and they still turn to it. What is going on? Isn't it crazy? Now,
Yeah.
that empowerment, I believe, to be able to interpret, but then to be able to say, no, man, I choose optimal health. I think it's born of eating more of the right things. That's my opinion. I believe we put in more of the right things, we feel better, and then it's just like a subconscious decision. I'd prefer to feel better.
Yeah. And that's one that, like I said, my wife has eaten healthiest as long as I've known her.
Yeah.
And it's a commitment that she made. And I total respect that she eats. I mean, just eats as healthy as could be, and has been a great example. And finally took, 19 years for me to see that example and get in.
I want to ask you about another one, which is with your dietary lifestyle changes. Have you noticed any improvement around pain and old injuries? Have you noticed anything like that?
The only thing my big injuries I have are my knees. I do, and that might be just a lot of it having the weight off. My knees aren't bad. I think some of them ballpark back. I played catcher in younger days and football, they just injuries like that. But my knees don't hurt as bad. I don't have that problem where they would just ache and hurt. And I've been in and done cortisone shots and stuff trying to get rid of them, and haven't had any problems since I started doing this.
We got a guy named Adam Sisk. He's a former pro ball player, and I think it was like 21 surgeries, something insane. It was like 21 surgeries. I'm not exaggerating, and pain all over the whole body. And he goes on the right feed source, if you will. And he does this ER shred, and like he doesn't have it anymore. Like all the pain is gone, and the inflammatory response is under control, which is really cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Amazing.
It's amazing. Like, and everything's working good in the bedroom. I'm trying to get you to laugh, boy.
Practice.
It's practice. Well, you guys, Brock, I've got mad respect for you. What would be your advice to men? And that's why I did twist his arm to come on the call. He's got to go right after this, but what would be your advice to men who, like dads, for instance, who, dude, they've let themselves go? Would you say at some point you let yourself go?
Yeah, I definitely, it just creeps up on you. It happens. You just don't take care of yourself, and it's life. Life kind of happens at times, and you just got to reevaluate priorities. And then part of that priority for me, the health wise, is how long do I want to live? How long do I want to be around for my family? And so those are things as majority men, you want to provide for your family, but if you don't take care of yourself, chances are my dad's dad died when my dad was 12. He was in his 40s.
Ooh.
And he didn't take care of himself. My dad shared with me on those things, and so some of those things also. My dad was diagnosed with cancer when he was in his 40s, and so his three brothers all the same, and so there's things that it kind of this time in the 40s all of a sudden it was like, I say, got to take care of myself, or I may not be around long for my family and be able to take care of them. So
yeah,
it's important not just for ourselves, but for the people we care about.
Yeah, boy. So here's what we're gonna do for Brock. If y'all can throw swords up, Brock is an official ER shred warrior. Look, Brock, you're all throwing swords at you. Cha-cha.